A conversation I want to have that I do think should extend into like the overarching societal and political landscape is the role of content creators. Now, I've done podcast episodes talking about this before, and I think they have a lot more responsibility and a lot more influence than we try to believe, or we try to pretend that they do not have, especially considering they have more access to kids and young adults and just people in general, more so than any celebrity. You can watch them every single day, adopt all their mannerisms, adopt their personality, just hear their rhetoric and really believe that is something that you should make into your personality. And we pretend like, oh yeah, content creators, yeah, they're not role models. And I hate when a content creator says, I'm not a role model. Bitch, you entertain every single day people. They're going to adopt who you are. Now, I'm not saying you got to be a saint. I don't believe that at all. You do not have to be a saint, and also parents have a lot of responsibility in parenting properly. So I put a lot of blame, and I tell people all the time: do not let your kids, do not just have them be on the tablet, have them be on the phone, have them being watching these people. And I respect some content creators going like, yo, I'm not for kids, but it doesn't really mean anything because the kid's going to watch you anyway. Ultimately, though, that doesn't alleviate responsibility for these individuals because just like celebrities, basketball players, actors, musicians, these are role models too, and they also influence people as well. And they have responsibility just like everyone else in terms of who their audience is and how much impact they have on their audience. So that's why I want to react to this video. Shout out, let's give it a buck podcast. I am subscribed, I believe. Right? Yeah. I won't become a member. But shout out them. And I want to react to this video and give my own commentary.
Big podcast going on right now. What the am I watching, bro? Kai Cenat is ending Aiden's career. What do they know? Because I just spoke with Kai today. That's first of all. Second of all, how the is the end my career?
This past weekend, a lot of conversations on the timeline about the streaming community. A lot of stuff happened. This is off the back of the whole Neon Breakfast Club interview. We saw the Breakfast Club interview. We talked about it last week. And truly, when we were live last Thursday, this was last Thursday. We were live last Thursday. And that is when Kai was live and Aiden was live at the same time. Kai was talking about how he felt about Aiden. Aiden was responding in real time. And so they were just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Not saying that it all started from this specific clip, but when we were live, this was happening at the specific current time. Aiden was responding to XQC saying this.
But that's just awful, man. I don't. Well, so Aiden, I don't know how you deal with that. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be able to deal with that. I hate that.
Yeah. I mean, dude, guys, there's a clip of literally Kai doesn't even say anything. He scrolled right past it. We had a conversation about that off stream. I mean, like, look, it obviously, like, it doesn't look good, right? I mean, it really doesn't, but whatever. Like, whatever. I mean, it's not that serious to me. I really don't care if people do.
There's and I want to be clear. I do not watch Aiden Ross nor Kai Cenat. I don't really watch streamers at all. Sometimes I will tune into a streamer if they're having a very particular conversation that I want to see their perspective on, whether it's sports or it's politics, or I don't even really watch anime content anymore. But I get the gist. Like, you know, when social media kind of replays very viral clips and moments that I'm going to point out when it comes to certain behavior. But I'm going to let the conversation continue because there's a few things that they say that I want to,
or don't want to put me online or whatever. It is what it is. I just, at this point, I just don't give a anymore, bro. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all. No, it's not about being folded. I'm genuinely telling you guys, I genuinely don't care. Like, I really, really don't even give. Like, whatever. It's just like, if people want to me online, they can. If they want to me offline, whatever, cool. But it's like, yeah, whatever, bro. I'm not gonna fake it anymore, bro. I'm not gonna fake being buddy with people that don't want to be cool with me, and it's just that simple. It has nothing to do with anything except the simple fact that I have self-respect for myself. And like I know that like during dark times, I
Self-respect. Maybe he's changed because recently I saw a clip of him kissing the chair that Andrew Tate left. So maybe that was years ago. I don't know. I don't keep up with him like that. Maybe he does have self-respect. Well, I would hope. I would hope.
I've been there for people, and if they don't want to be there for me during my dark or even good times, then that's it.
Now I think we've all maintained the fact that like on the internet, because of how different communities like prop situations up or whatever the case may be, everybody is your friend on the internet. Like if you do the same thing, you're in the same lane, everybody is a friend. But from what we know from our sides of the internet, from being creators who have been in different spaces for a minute now, that's not the case, right?
Mhm.
We know that to not be the case.
I think we know, but other people might not, if that makes sense. Like I think some people have been in the game enough to assume that not every creator is their friend just because they're in the same niche. But some people do.
That is a very potent point. I think because you have conversations with people consistently, there's that assumption that there's a friendliness there. And I mean, I think it's similar to like high school friends, right? How many people have you gone to high school with that you would talk every day, hang out every day, enjoy your time, and then later on down your life, when you both leave high school, you guys don't talk anymore? I feel like we all have those people like, we're cool. Like if we see each other, we're to dap each other up, have a good time. But I feel like as we grow up, I think people understand that the term friend should be used a lot more deliberately for people that genuinely care about you and you genuinely care about them. I think that is the point of friendship, right? Kind of synonymous with like the point of family, which is much more unconditional. It's just people that you know genuinely have your best interest in mind. Most people you meet on the internet, I would say like 99% of people you meet on the internet, they wouldn't truly be friends. They'd be like your internet friends. You can call it whatever you want. You know, we're cool, whatever. If it makes you feel better, you can call them your friends. But yeah, you got to keep things a spade a spade. When you think about someone you communicate with it consistently, could you guarantee that if you were in a rough spot, they would help you? That's the question you got to ask yourself. It's interesting because this is very synonymous with I was in Hutch's stream recently in the conversation regarding Destiny because Destiny has all these allegations going on, and a lot of people has abandoned him. Now I haven't really paid attention because I don't give a fuck about drama usually, but I paid attention to this because Destiny's a content creator that I watch because we agree and align on a lot of takes. Recently, there are some takes I did not agree with, like the edgy joke he made regarding Texas. That was a big one where I criticized them, made a video. A lot of Destiny fans are in my comment section pissed off. I don't care. I stand by what I said. But I am curious to see how this kind of goes about. But you saw firsthand allegations came out. Everybody just assumed that he was bad for their brand, so they all abandoned him. So it's kind of works the same way as like this Aiden Ross and Kai Cenat thing. If something happens, and it's different if you genuinely do a terrible thing. All this stuff without is allegations for Destiny. So I think he is a fucking sex addict though. So like I do think he needs to chill out. But if he ends up guilty, then I'm like, oh yeah, you're a piece of shit. I'm done with you. I have no problem saying that. And I don't even know the guy, right? But it's one thing if it's genuinely bad stuff and then like alleged bad stuff. That also tells you like, okay, you're willing to believe the allegation. You know, another good, interesting example is like the Shannon Sharp stuff, right? The Shannon Sharp stuff has the allegation, and then he decided to, you know what, this is not worth my brand. Let me give you money so we can shut this up. And they did a under the table deal, and now he doesn't have to worry about the lawsuit and the allegations going out. And how people heard the allegations and may have distanced himself from Shannon. So again, there's some certain litmus tests of, are you truly my friend, or do we just like the same things and like to talk about it? Always have that conversation with the people around you.
Still
for
move
sure.
like that, or at least like they'll move like that until it's explicitly said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not even unfortunately. People just not everybody's going to gel together. The industry is not to, I guess, jump the gun here, but industry has definitely become somewhat like competitive in a way. But for the most part, when it comes to like creators being cool with each other, I mean, they're people. And everybody gonna be cool with each other. That's how it goes.
Oh, we might have to put this on pause.
Oh no. What now?
Oh no. Apparently Aiden wants to, or we can have the possibility of going on Aiden's stream. That's
Oh,
what we're
okay.
gonna do.
Let's do it.
I'm
I
down.
mean, we can do it. Do it. Y'all
Give
just
me
gotta be
2
prepared for
seconds.
like.
Give me 2
W Cloud
seconds.
Now
Form.
that I know what it was,
Is Dom having a Paul Pierce incident?
yeah. Now I know that. Now that I know what it was, y'all just gonna have to. And our community is gonna have to be aware of what that entails per se, because you're gonna get called some crazy stuff, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. You're gonna see some messages.
Rain on me.
No,
No,
see some little messages, Chattertrons.
this past weekend, a lot of streamer beef. We already recapped that.
Yep.
This is
Something interesting I've thought about. I've had different people on my podcast. Like, I've had, for the most part, all of those were good conversations that I've had on my podcast. I've had a few, like, MAGA people, but nothing, like, they haven't spouted nonsense on my podcast. Oh, actually, there's this one deep state guy. And honestly, I got to listen back on that conversation to see if I did a good job, because I hope I didn't just allow him to spout nonsense. I don't think I did. Well, I'm probably going to re-listen to that podcast to ensure that I was handling the conversation appropriately. So I'm willing to talk to people that I do believe can provide a productive conversation that is fruitful for society. Is talking to Aiden fruitful for society? Like, is talking to content creators who just do random shit and don't really do anything that's beneficial to society? Is that worth having those in terms of attention and clout? Sure. I don't know. I'm not one to say like, yeah, I wouldn't do it. It would help me get the brand out. So I don't know if I would have those. Depends on what the conversation's about, I guess.
stemming from a lot of past stuff, just past stuff. Talked about friendships online, and how they are.
Which actually pertains to the bigger conversation I'm going to have a little bit later on. Give my own unfiltered thoughts about the whole stuff regarding Jubilee and whether or not they should be deplatformed or demonetized for allowing fascists on their platform. So that kind of comes full circle. We'll talk about that later.
Versus the reality of the situation. XQC comments on Kai Cenat not purposefully or purposefully ignoring Aiden and his calls. Aiden says, "We get it. People don't have to be buddy on the internet, or and be friends in real life. If people don't want to fuck with him, they don't want to fuck with him." Kai Cenat comes on the internet to clear all of this up, though, to just be counter the popular belief, to be counter what is being said.
First of all, I want to go ahead and say, nigga, I got nothing but respect for Aiden. I ain't never have a problem with Aiden. Aiden is my brother. All because niggas don't see niggas streaming.
My point in all of this is Kai genuinely doesn't really get a bad rep, because I don't, other than like the New York stuff, I don't think he does anything bad. I can't really think of anything inherently that's like bad. Maybe a little ignorant, like the New York stuff, but I don't even think he did something bad. He was just a little ignorant in terms of his impact. But I do think when you have this much influence and impact, you should really understand the type of people you continuously respect and befriend. I'm not telling you to choose your friends, but Aiden Ross in particular has a history of endorsing Donald Trump. And Donald Trump sucks. I don't have to really say anything more. He had, during his election, he was doing videos and streams with him and also endorsing Andrew Tate. So this guy is willing to get in weird camps with some deplorable people and then has said some deplorable stuff himself, and you continuously befriend him? That's the part where I'm like, ignorance is not moving me there. The whole, oh, I'm just trying to do my thing, get my money. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm not hearing all that. All of this is available information. You have a team, right? That's what I'm talking about. Like these people, and I'm not trying to criminalize or villainize Kai. I think he's probably a good person. I believe. My only thing is once you have this level of influence and impact, where you're influencing the younger generation, when you're influencing young men and young women, when you're setting a culture, like he's a culture setter, he's messing with mainstream people. I would imagine you want to ensure that the people you are endorsing are not terrible people, right? It's kind of the same thing with like not on the same level. But it's like when the Nelk Boys did a podcast episode with Netanyahu. Like, what the fuck? What is going on? That was stupid, especially since they were not qualified enough to have him on the podcast. And I think it says something else, but like, he's my brother. It's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to call certain people who have done so many terrible shit my brother still. You know what I'm saying?
Don't mean I don't fuck with the nigga. Now, what it is. First of all, I want to go.
He goes on to say that one of the bigger reasons that he is so distant with them is that the communities come in between them. The communities come in between them. Now I want to play Aiden's quick response to it and then, get into how this can happen.
Say as well.
Travis Scott just dropped an album.
That's what I was about to say as well. I mean, look, Lico, this is my whole take on this one. I agree with that. Unfortunately, like Kai's community could be heavily moderated more than others, but I still see hate threads in Kai shit as well. Like at the end of the day, but guys, a Twitter community should not represent a streamer. When I had the active 100,000 member community, I couldn't control it. You guys can control it. Look what happened when I deleted.
This is what I'm talking about. The lack of accountability for these people who have so much influence. This is the stuff I hate. This is the stuff I hate.
It. You guys made like 30 other ones with like 30K members in like a day. You understand? So like it's the same shit when like Max and Jason came at me for the thing. Obviously it's all cleared up now. You cannot control one bad apple in the basket.
His whole point is that as a streamer, you can't control what's going on with your community at large. And I want to get y'all's perspective on that because I personally agree with the first portion, but we can circle back to that in a second. Do you as a content creator feel as if you have control over your community at large?
We just did this stream. We saw like slurs being said in chat and put it in members mode. And I know like it'd be a little bit different for them, but put it on slow mode. Yes, you can moderate your online community. Now on Twitter, is that a little bit harder? And maybe are we speaking from a place of people who don't have like 30,000, member communities to deal with? Possibly. But yeah, you can definitely control your community.
You can control it at the beginning. What you can't do is do one thing or act one type of way to build your community. And then when you want to pivot, you can't be mad that the community isn't reflecting the pivot you want to make. That's where it gets whacked to me.
Damo is objectively correct. The community that you garner is based off who you are and the actions you do and what you allow. Right? For example, let's apply this on a larger scale when it comes to politics. There is a perception on who MAGA is right now. There are people that hate immigrants, right? There are people who are okay with Donald Trump using his authoritarian power. There are people who believe in conspiracy theories. Like there are certain characteristics and qualifiers that you can understand what a MAGA individual is. And it would be ridiculous to think that you can go to Donald Trump and go like, well, you're not responsible for your base. That'd be fucking stupid. You can make the same argument for people on the left, right? Hassan, perfect example, because Hassan sucks. Sorry, Hassan fans, I don't like Hassan. If you do, I'm willing to talk to you about why you're following the wrong person. Because I've met at least one good Hassan fan in my comment section. But Hassan, what does he perpetuate? Hateful rhetoric when it comes to America. Hateful Jewish messaging in particular. I think recently he said liberal Jewish people or liberal Israelis that live in America are just as bad as like the Israelis that support Netanyahu. Fucking disgusting. Stupid, even. Hassan represents a very nasty and disgusting leftist rhetoric. And it'll be idiotic if Hassan made the point that, oh, it's not my fault, they're just like me. That's fucking stupid. So, trying to distance yourself from the community you created, I'm not hearing that shit. I'm not hearing that shit at all. Aiden, you have a fucking disgusting community because you are a disgusting person. Now, maybe he's changed. I don't watch him. But I know for a fact he did a lot of bullshit with the Red Pill arc. And he supports Donald Trump. So I'm getting a good picture of the bullshit community he's been creating.
Did all this rage baiting, racist ass content, gay ass jokes, all this dumb shit. You did all these things. But then now 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later, you want to make the switch for the brand. You want to be this different level of streamer. You can't be mad that your community is full of niggas calling niggas monkeys and baboons. You can't be mad that you have a toxic community. You can't be toxic to build your community and then get mad when your community is a bunch of toxic niggas. It just doesn't work like that.
Correct.
I see
Yeah,
what.
man.
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. Because I got a lot off. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just gonna say more of the same. Yeah, I don't think even what Aiden said is complete BS in this situation of he can't control Twitter communities. I'll even go there.
Stop being literal. Yes, literally he can't control it. But and I'm not coming at Sage because some people don't think like this way. When it comes to how people say things, when they're saying it, and how they're saying it, everything has value to articulate the meaning behind what they're trying to do. Now, if people don't notice all that and just go straight for what they say literally, I'm not mad at you. I'm not trying to. I don't want people to be like meta analyzing everything people say. That's annoying and that's boring, and I'm gonna be honest, that's tiring. But I do it quite frequently. And I will say this. Aiden's saying this to alleviate responsibility of the situation that we are talking about in terms of the distance between him and Kai, using his community as a scapegoat and alleviating responsibility for his own actions on why the relationship is fractured and why his community is like that.
Asking that brother to control a made-up Twitter fan page, what is he supposed to do? But it's like the chicken came before the egg came before the chicken, whatever analogy you want to go with. You can't be like the origin story of the community that you can't control, and I think that's the issue here. So it's kind of just started because of that.
The thing that I will say in this conversation is, I do believe you can have control over your community and your image and your reputation and all that. Not saying that like it's definitely harder once you have it started one way and then you try to switch. That's perfectly fine. But there is a way that it can.
And I'm fine with growth, right? Because a lot of these people who get their communities are super young. And that's why I'm like, I don't even know why these people have this much influence at like 19, 20, 21 in the first place. We might have to have a larger conversations on like unvetted impact. Maybe a conversation for a different day. But I appreciate growth. I respect growth. I respect maturity. I think it's valuable. I think it's important. But the moment you pivot and grow as a man, and I don't even think Aiden has because he just endorsed Donald Trump recently, so I don't fucking think he has. But if I was getting the benefit of the doubt of someone who has, then you have to be willing to consistently fix your image by also calling out your own community. That's why I am very critical of the Democrats that we're not calling out the bullshit on the far left these last like 8 years. And now, because of it, there is a section of people who voted for Trump purely because they hated the woke shit. And now they overcorrected, and now a lot of them are actually racist, homophobic, and transphobic. So yeah, that's another important part.
Right. With that being said, though, this is where I would have to agree with him. I think that this is a larger conversation about the entirety of, the community and stuff like that. This is a streaming community WL problem, right? This is something that exists all on that side of the internet. He's right. Granted, I think the stuff that Aiden and them do is over the top. Like the videos of Cuff from this weekend, we'll probably dive into it. That's fine. But with that being said, this stuff still exists on, and we're just going to divide it, the Twitch side of things. The same. Some of the stuff that happens on the Kick side of things is some of the stuff that happens on the Twitch side of things. And I think it's really as simple as that. How do they
Like
fix
what?
it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't know
To be
how you
honest.
fix it.
Yeah.
Some stuff.
Now,
I don't. He would need to be more specific for me to understand his point.
another point of conversation. Kai also voiced his displeasure about how Cuffham and Cheezer, Aiden Ross's friends, were talking about Kai Cenat or doing different things about Kai Cenat, making content about him.
But the people around you don't fuck with me.
Okay.
You picking up what I'm putting down? So I say Aiden.
I do.
On a real life.
He mentioned on the call Cuffham and Cheezer and shit. He did. He's like, Cuffham I'll see clips of Cuffham and I'll doing this, and Cheezer and this. So like I get where he's come from because I've seen clips. I've seen it, and you guys remember that one clip about the warehouse and Cuffham is straight there just pressing about Kai. I mean, like I know Cuffham trolls and shit like that. I get it, but from his POV, he doesn't understand. So I get Cuffham's POV. I get Kai's POV, but that's just how Cuffham plays.
You know what? Another thing that I fucking hate is this idea that it's content. Now, don't get me wrong. I love having fun, being energetic, being rambunctious. Right? Entertainment is great. That's why I love the WWE. There are characters over there. But this is the same principle as people who use the term, well, it's just a joke. I was just trolling. Oh, it's just for content. Trying to use the guise of content, trolling, jokes to be terrible, terrible people is never a good excuse. Now, unfortunately, we've been lost in the weeds on what that line is, where people think that, if you just make one criticism of someone of color or a woman, it's like, oh no, you're the worst person in the world. Yeah, I agree. That's fucking annoying. I'm there with you. We should talk about what that line is. And trying to dismiss it, I think that is the biggest issue here. Dismissing someone's perception because you put a guise over it is incorrect behavior in handling these conversations.
Okay. Probably not too much there.
That's a horrible cop out.
Okay, well, there we go.
Damo on timing again.
You can't. Yeah, this
Oh.
is another. I don't want to be like a revolving door here. I know I'm probably gonna get scooked for the lack of opinions in this podcast, but like he can't. Again, he can't control what another grown man does, even if that's his friend. However, that's more than justified reason for someone from the outside looking in to think you're wrong with you. If
Also, it tells you something in terms of like who your friends are. Is everything, you can't be isolated in responsibility in terms of things that happen around you, especially when you have as much influence as Aiden and Ross. I'm not hearing that. I refuse to hear that. I refuse.
if one day I pull up to the pod, you, B Souls, and Damo are laughing all the time at jokes I don't understand. And then anytime I say something, it's like a weird pose or weird vibe going on. And then I log off. We log off the podcast. And then Damo has a video saying, fuck TSSH. I have every right to then think, oh, B Souls might also not fuck with TSSH today. So
I just don't. It's just a lame cop out to say. I mean, that's just how he jokes. Like that's just sense of humor. Like,
Damo
bro, take
cooking.
accountability. The nigga is an asshole.
Damo cooking.
He don't like. He says dumb shit about Kai. Kai.
That's all I'm asking for. Accountability, accepting responsibility. That is the key. Because once you do that, you can start solving these issues. If you dismiss it, come on.
Don't like it. Just leave it there. Don't make excuses for these niggas. That's the problem. Making excuses for the behavior is not accountability. I mean, I know he might have called you a wet monkey baboon Twitch slave, but
we didn't say that.
That's just how he jokes, gang. He basically, I mean, that's not too far off. That's just jokes, gang.
And this lack of accountability sets a precedent to young fans that 100% watch these streams, and they think this is acceptable behavior when dealing with conflict in their own lives. Like, this little kid's gonna go in school and make the same bullshit excuses to his teacher.
I know Cheezer is a white guy that definitely called you the N-word, but that's just how Cheezer jokes, gang. That's bad. That's almost on the lines of, I mean, he only humps when he drinks. He only get the air humping when he drinks, right? Like it's his personal record. He can handle his liquor. That's on the same lines of that. And we were up here like, nah, look, you're fucking weird. So Aiden, you're also weird.
Hey, weirdo. No, I'm kidding.
Last two things from this incident. Along the lines of caping for friends and giving a lot of bail for friends, there was an incident where Kai shared the fact that Aiden's manager called Kai and called him nigga for 10 minutes straight. Not 10 minutes straight, but just minutes straight.
I think this was what I just reacted to. Maybe I'll cut it when I make this into a video. Yeah, I probably would just cut it.
At 4 a.m. And this is how this interaction went.
That from Nike to McDonald's. Tyler's a white man, by the way. He proceeds to say, from Nike to McDonald's. But bro, keep it real, bro. Nigga, a chicken Big Mac, nigga? Nigga, a chicken Big Mac, nigga? He on my phone calling me the N-word at 4 a.m. in the fucking morning. You supposed to be a nigga manager and you what's up with you? The nigga on my phone 4 a.m. calling me about a fucking McDonald's commercial saying, nigga, really a chicken Big Mac, nigga?
And I don't think there's truly anything to say there. But Aiden calls him and asks him, did he do it? Apparently, these are just based off of the reports of the community. He's not going to let him go. Again, that's community reports. Probably one of the biggest things to come out of this, though, the actual numbers of the deal on Kick. Aiden Kai talks about why he ultimately did not end up going to Kick. And then he also talks about, the decision making, because that's where a lot of the community is splitting the two creators apart at, right? There's a Kick side, there's a Twitch side. There might be some some disinformation about Kai based on him not going to Kick. There might be some disinformation on Aiden because he's not going to Twitch. Disinformation on both sides, which prompted Kai to respond. And, he explained all money ain't good money, blah, 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 blah. Aiden gives us insight as to what that really is, though. What that means, all money ain't good money, because he talks about the numbers. And I believe these to be true over Kick Champs throwing out some random number.
So I get what he's saying right here. I get what he's saying. I just remember this conversation. I'll never forget this convo I had with Eddie. Eddie says to me, Aiden, I have like $140 million for you, Speed, and Kai. You get this shit done, you guys, 140 M's for you guys for the first year. If this shit works, we'll re-sign you guys. And that's no gambling, by the way. That was no gambling. If someone did the math on that, 140 divided by 3, I don't fucking know what that is. And that's no gambling, I swear. No. So I get what he's saying right here. I get what
he goes on in another clip to say it's like 140. Well, he goes on to say $50 million a piece and equity. Equity in the
strong, man. Kai must be making a shit ton of money.
Y'all have the
all money ain't good
money.
money.
For $1 million, 140 and equity. Ooh. Ooh.
Hey.
I don't know the context, but if Kai said no, I would be curious of why he said no. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I don't know the context. Obviously a lot of money, for sure.
I think though, and this is, part of my opinion, looking at the landscape of different things. You turn down that money today, and they've even talked about it because Neon left, but you turn down that money today to say in the future, I can get more. It was part of the reason that Rage left. He talked about it when he dropped his video responses about why he left the platform, et cetera, et cetera. But you turn it down today because the thought is that,
oh, wow. I don't know what just happened.
Okay.
They both got
the W thoughts. W. Nice. Great story.
Nice.
What?
That's Playback's way of letting us know. Hey man, wrap it up.
Did I log out?
That's what happens. What happens when y'all go? That's what happens when y'all go
It
fast.
randomly happens. It randomly happens.
Oh, they're live on
We
playback.
started late. I give y'all some grace. That's what happened.
What's it called? That wow. The thought is I'm not gonna get that T-Mobile sponsorship for my streamer university if I'm on a Kick, and I don't know the validity to that. I think that a lot of the people find the platform to be like the edgelord platform. You can say what you want. You're just not gonna get these deals. It's just about, are you trading off this money for that money? You might not ever get this sponsorship advertisement money. You might not get the deal with the NBA, with McDonald's. You might not get your chicken Big Mac. You might not get all that if you are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have strong opinions regarding that. Do what you got to do to make money. I do think obviously there's a moral case in terms of certain ways to make money, right? I think there should be a moral responsibility on certain aspects of making money that sets a precedent on how other people should make money. But streaming on Kick and Twitch, I mean, I don't really care. There are people on Kick that do reprehensible stuff. Like people like that, I condemn completely. But I don't have enough context to go like, I mean, if Kai, for the most part, I don't think he does bad stuff. If he streams on Twitch versus Kick, I mean, if he doesn't want to accept it, he does it. I don't care really. We'll see if they say anything else before I wrap up.
I mean,
this
I'm gonna be honest. I believe that. And maybe this is why I'm holding myself back. If someone offered me 50 mil to stream for a year, and it's just on some like, stream these hours and you get this money, I'm pulling a Bruce. No cap. And I'm out of here. Give me 50 mil. I'm gonna try to invest it. I'm gonna try to do whatever. I'm out of here. Sayonara. I appreciate y'all, man. My time is up.
I'm also starting a record label. Let's put some rappers
Big
on.
42 is dead ass a record label now.
Big 42 is real.
All right, shout out them. I don't think they're gonna say anything else But if you want to watch the full video and you want to watch all their streams, feel free go on their channel. They make some good content over there.